Yo, what's up guys? So in today's video I wanna talk about biceps training, how you can leverage biceps training and how I do my biceps training basically, as well as what I recommend to you if you are starting out or if you're a beginner to try out basically. And we are going to talk about a few exercises with biceps, how they work a little bit, what kind of exercises do you have in your repertoire for biceps and what you can do basically, and yeah, what you can try out in terms of biceps training. And yeah, so let's fucking go. Okay, so biceps, what they are basically lifting your forearm basically up. So this is basically just common sense. Your biceps is fully lengthened when you are actually lengthen your arm basically. This is how I can put it. So this is the fully lengthened position is this. The fully shortened position is this in one motion. So the first muscle, because the biceps consist of two muscles. So this is the first motion, which you are going to see that it's almost the shortest. But there is a second motion to the biceps, which is this. Just a little bit of like actually lifting up your elbows. This is a second motion which you can leverage, by the way, but I don't really use them, or maybe in my heavy sets I usually use them because, by the way, it can enhance your biceps and grow it even more, because this movement is going to train it even more, your biceps. And yeah, basically that's it. But if you see your biceps and you see that it's contracted and it's shortened, actually not contracted, but if you are rotating your arm, it depends on how short it gets. So once your pinky is closer to your shoulder, that's going to be contracted, shortened even more. Since you see, this is how it looks when my pinky is not to my shoulder basically, but when it's touching my shoulder, you see it's shortened a lot. And yeah, you can even go further, but it's not going to be helpful to your wrist. So there are a few exercises which can leverage this pinky thing, and there are a few biceps exercises which are not leveraging this pinky technique basically. So yeah, let's fucking get into it. Okay, so you will see three clips right now, which first will be hammer curl, which you see now, then barbell curl, and then rotation curl. These three exercises are, let's say, the compound exercises of biceps training basically, which are really good to grow your biceps. I recommend to use these as big weighted exercises, so use them in the 8 to 12 range maybe, and really dig deep and use heavy weights, especially with the hammer and barbell curl. I like to use heavy weights with my hammer curl, since I think biceps need to train heavy at least once a week. I would suggest to incorporate two of these exercises in your workout routine. It depends on how much you train your biceps and how much you do. So let's get back into the video. Okay, so as you saw, there are a few options with biceps training basically. It's pretty easy. There are three main types of biceps grip actually, or biceps exercise form, which is going to be include the hammer type, which is like neutral grip, going to include the rotation movement, which is going to be from neutral to like a pronated grip, and the last one is basically the fully pronated. So when you are doing this, like what you saw with the bar. So with the pronated one, the good thing is you can use and leverage the pinky one, but with the hammer one you can not work it more, because it's going to be more forearms in it. But with the pinky one you can concentrate it on more. And yeah, basically that's it. There is one more which I'm going to show you, which I don't really use, but it can be leveraged, it can be helpful, but I don't like it, and I don't think it's necessary actually to grow your biceps. And yeah. Okay, so the next few clips you will see is about the grip and the different types of grip. The first clip you will see is from a neutral grip to actually a supinated grip, and this is leveraging the pinky rotation, which I talked about before. And it's a really good way to tire up your biceps. But with this exercise, I highly recommend to step on something, because that's going to be giving you the full contraction what you need here. And you can overload this as too, because this is a really good exercise you can overload. So the next one is reverse grip, where you are trying to develop the brachialis, which is under your biceps basically and on the side of your biceps. And this is a pronated grip basically. That's the best way I can put it. And I don't really use them since my wrist hurt from it, and you get activation from other exercises and from other trainings, so you don't need to train them separately, in my opinion. And the last one is an incline curl, which is really good because you can use the dead hang which the incline gives you to really dig deep and use your biceps as much as possible. And yeah, this is the best way, in my opinion. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so the thing is with biceps training is you can cheat a lot by using your own body weight actually and leaning towards the movement. Actually towards the movement, back usually. But there are a few exercises which I showed you, or I will show you, that's going to be eliminating this kind of movement, which is going to result in more biceps activation but less weight. So these are more like isolation movement, where you not put your whole body into the movement, which is not bad, but I think you should use some kind of cheat course at one of your training session at least. I think that's a good incorporation of this, because your biceps need to fucking work with fucking heavy weights, and that's all. I think, in my opinion, that's going to help a lot. You need to have a lot of isolation work in order to really dial in your biceps. But for me, the best thing was basically to use heavy ass weights, and that's work for me. You should try them. Swinging with that is okay until you lower the weight as slowly as you can. So you swing it, but then at the negative circus you stop it as much as you can. Basically, that's the thing with swinging. You can swing it up, but when it's going down, you have to stop it as much as you can. And you for this you need to have a good mind-muscle connection. If you don't, then it's going to be a back exercise. But you can do that after you are advanced. Okay, so the first clip you will see is about how I cheat and how I usually cheat. So the main thing here is you can cheat the way up, but never down. Down, you have to use your own strength, and if you can't lower it slow, then leave that shit back in the rack, because then that's not going to be working for you. You have to use the negative. Since you are cheating your way up, you have to use your negative as much as possible and have to leverage it. Okay, then you will see a few isolation exercises. The first one will be spider curl. Maybe you never heard of it. This is a really good way to develop your biceps. It's really fucking amazing exercise, guys. Try it out. It's pretty easy. You just lay down on a bench and just curl. The only thing here is you have to have that hang. So don't move, don't use any momentum, anything, any swing, anything. This is just all about the dead hang.
it's a really good way to develop your biceps again. The next one is squat pad or a preacher curl, how you like to call it. You can use machine for this, or dumbbell, or basically anything you can think of. And the last exercise, before the second last exercise, is a static curl, which basically means that you are holding one up in a contracted position while the other one is doing a rep and then changing it up. This is a really good way to use your static muscles basically, but the problem with it is for some people it's not the best way to develop their biceps, so you have to try it out. I really like them and I use them in my training, but not for everyone, so you have to try it out. And the last one is the basic concentration curl, where again the main thing here is to get out the swinging motion from the exercise, and that's all. Okay, so then what I recommend for biceps, how you can construct the best biceps plan you have actually. So I recommend one heavy bicep movement, which is preferably be either the rotation curl or hammer curl, or maybe the barbell curl. If you can do it, I can do it because of my forearm, so I do hammer curls for heavy sets, for like 3 to 4 sets with a shit ton of weight actually. And yeah, and then I recommend a few isolation. The spider curl is really good. I never really do reverse grips, since I think it's not necessary. It's developing the brachialis between under the two biceps actually, but I think it's not necessary. At least for me, I don't feel it right and my hand hurts, so I just skip this. But you should focus on more likely the pronated grips, so either the rotation or either the all the way pronated grips, because they are more likely to activate your biceps, especially in isolation works. However, with the hammer curl, it's really fucking good to just do heavy sets. And as you can use cheats as I show you, and yeah, so use so squat pads and preacher curls are really good, so you can incorporate that. But I'm not going to tell you what you should incorporate. You can incorporate machines, or you can do anything. I just tell you that you should do around per week one heavy exercise, one really heavy exercise for your biceps, one or two isolation work, and one thing where you like it's kind of heavy but not too much, you can isolate on it. So this is what I recommend. And for set wise, you don't have to go too far, so 20 sets is too much. I think you should do between 10 to 15, but it depends on how much you train your back. It depends. So that's 7 sets of biceps, and the second one again 7 sets. If your biceps is sore after the workout, that's good, but if it's not recovered for your next workout, then lower the set rates or the intensity. You can decide, but it depends on your intensity. If you are training like a fucking pussy, then you can handle 30 sets even, but don't train like a fucking pussy. Okay guys, I hope you learned a shit ton from this video, and yeah, like the video if you liked. Comment down below what is your favorite biceps exercise, and I'm seeing the next one. Goodbye guys.